Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and we're here today with special guest, Robert Wilson, who's here to share with us Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity. So do you need some down-to-earth cowboy common sense in your life? Well, today's guest is here to share with us just that. So Robert Wilson is not just a speaker, but a tempest of down-home charm and profound wisdom that resonates on a frequency that speaks to the human spirit. His words, well, they're not spun from the silk of opulent boardrooms or echoing from the marbled halls of the elite. They are forged in the heart of life's furnace, hammered with experience, and cooled in the soothing streams of empathy. They are real, raw, and resoundingly human. So let's welcome to the show, Robert Wilson.
Well, thank you for having me. It's my honor and privilege to be here, Marianne. Looking forward to the show.
Oh my goodness, Rob. I am so honored to have you here and to talk about this. And I think everyone can use a little cowboy wisdom. So what even inspired you to develop this?
Well, in 1997, I was working in Portland, Oregon. I'm a retired union electrician. I was working in Portland, Oregon, and my life was going nowhere. It was just like, you hit the wall and you keep hitting it. Finally, I got tired of hitting the wall, and I got into a home-based business. And the home-based business pushed personal growth. And so I really latched on to that and started understanding it. And then I kept moving forward with personal growth, self-help until 2009. In 2009, I sat back and I discovered I was doing everything, all the self-help and all the books and everything said, but my life was stalled. It was just, I was feeling good in the same place. So then I stopped listening to self-help personal growth at that time. Then I started going on a self-discovery, and I was listening to something in the word expand come up. That just kind of, wisdom comes in one or two words, and I said, oh, expand. Expand instead of change liberated me from my overthinking memory mind. And then I started moving forward and kept doing things. And then I put it together. I call it a liberating lingo. Expand, energize, enterprise, and experience. That calmed the overthinking and let my mind get out of the mini movies of all my life situations. And from 2009, I just kept rising and expanding. In 2011, Marianne, I unpunctuated my writing for my sovereign. I call it sovereign expansion because it doesn't allow me to go back into the memory. And when I unpunctuated my writings, I started understanding, I started relaxing and letting myself rise out of the current situation. And that's another simple word, is I rise out of the situation. It allows you to feel liberated.
Well, I find it so fascinating that these words, as simple as they are, have such profound meaning when they're used together in the way that you present them.
Well, they are. And see, that's why I call it sovereign liberation. The thing is you want to keep that thinking memory mind quiet. And if you really ever look up the definition of mind, one, they go back into memory. They're always looking for something to relate to that situation. And that's why people stay stuck in their situation. But things people don't really talk about, Marianne, is the viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, and their childhood and how they're still related and attached to their parents' way of life.
Okay, so you just said a whole lot there that I want to unpack. And I think probably the best way to kind of do this is, you talk about how our opinions, viewpoints, all this keep us stuck. So why is that?
Because that's what we was raised is, and that's our comfort zone. That's where we feel comfortable. And that's where if anything is outside of them viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, it can't be true. It can't happen. And it keeps us locked in our own selfish ways. And I took the word self out of my life and used the word sovereign, because as soon as you say self, puts it on you. Sovereign puts it in a free-flowing energy.
I really like that. I like how those words really change the meaning and also how we feel.
That's the key. And the feel has to come from the core chakra or the gut all the way up. That's where you want to feel your life come, because your subconscious is actually in your body. And that's why we try to do it in the head and in the mind. And that mind's always busy looking for something that's wrong. When you can let go of the word mind and use the word scenery, you liberate yourself from your yesterdays. Because, see, this is something I really expanded into, and this is kind of opens you up. But you're going to think and know your way to yesterday, and everything you learned in school is secondhand information that somebody else wanted you to know. But listening to your free flowing intuition, imagination, of free flowing energy, you start rising out of the past because I stopped healing the past to liberate my now. Because something I discovered is you rise out of the past by your present moment events. Because if people get really honest with themselves, the same events are happening in a very similar way. That's what I discovered. I was doing this, but when I tried to think my way out of it, the same things come up. And it took me 66 years to learn how to listen. Now that I listen, I don't get in stuck my nose in other people's businesses. I listen for the wisdom. But here's a simple saying: you're going to think and know your way to the outhouse. You're going to listen and innovate your way to the penthouse.
I like that. Well, and I understand that you've never failed. So why is that?
That is something I come up with this week. And it just hit me. I've never failed. I failed to step up to the plate. I failed internally. I've never failed in the physical world. The physical world showed me the fail, but the failure is inside yourself. Because when the outside world shows you something and you don't question it or ask why you're apprehensive, and see, that's the thing. Don't set a boundary. Always is, why am I apprehensive about this? What am I being showed to expand myself? Because life occurs for me, never against me. But I taught myself that if it's not inside my viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, thinking, and knowing, it's against me. But really, the outside world is showing you a way to have a jailbreak out of your old self. And that's the thing that really opened me up is it never failed. I failed to trust my abilities and open up to whatever wisdom was inside that situation. That's where I failed.
Well, I know we were talking earlier because you have some real, I feel, important information that not everybody knows. And it seems that it's something that you really brought with you to this human experience that we're having. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. We're actually afraid of our unique talents because intuition, imagination, innovation, and inspiration, they're never in your thinking memory mind. They're your flowing energy. But we were taught in school to think, know, and do what the teacher said. And that stole people's dreams. Education is unique, but something you want to remember about education, it's secondhand information and what other people want you to think, know, and do and live inside. You're listening to your free flowing energy. You're liberated from everything. It's a simple saying, Marianne. Liberate me from me, I'm free. The word liberate over heal allows you to discard everything about trying to heal it because no matter how you heal it, there's always a scar. But when you're liberated, you let it go internally.
So I understand that you do Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity. And I'd love for you to share with our listeners what that is.
Hypnoacuity is hypnotherapy, but everybody is attached to therapy and they use therapy as a crutch. This world uses therapy as a crutch. Oh, I'll go get therapy. And I was going to hypnotherapy school, and a lady come in here, you ain't going to do nothing for me. I just like to be here for the therapy. And I says, wow. I said, okay. So I come up with hypnoacuity because it relaxes the person and allows them to let go and communicate away. And the thing about hypnosis, Marianne, is relaxation. You can hear better and you're never asleep, but you're more awake and attuned to what's going around. You can hear better under hypnosis, but what hypnosis does is opens up the communication between the body and the brain and the mind, and you can kind of discover what's going on. And where a lot of people don't understand, a lot of their encumbrances are in the body. And the body and the subconscious protects you, and so you won't let it go. But once you go under, like hypnoacuity is vision, inspiration to move forward. It's about you being willing to give yourself permission to rise out of your current situation, to ride your sovereign carpet glide through life.
I understand the work you do is called hypnotherapy without the drama.
And it is, but hypnoacuity gives you the courage to let it go. And the reason of hypnoacuity is because when you say hypnoacuity, you don't feel anything, do you?
No, not at all.
So that calms the person down. They know they're coming in not to get therapy, but they're coming in to get liberation.
I think that comes from a very empowering place. And it has me kind of wondering because you mentioned earlier about rise and expand out of the past by communicating with our daily events and encounters and experiences. So, why would we do that?
Because you're basically, if you look at the world today, just look at the world flat, don't get it all involved. We're living the 1960s with modern medicine and technology because we still got the same stuff going. And if you really look and you really get honest with yourself and you pay attention to your daily life, how is the words you're speaking today the same as yesterday? And how is the events of your life the same, but you're trying to put a cosmetic face liner on it to make it feel good, but yet basically your life stays the same. So you rise out of the past by communicating with your daily experience. See, that's the thing that really we lack communication in this skills in this world. So, but if you can communicate with your daily life and understand that outside world is a mirror of your inner world. So you can question yourself out of the past, but you can never think and know your way out of the past because this is simple. You can never listen, think, and know at the same time.
I did not know that. That's pretty good.
And I really went on a path to find this because self-help, personal growth, self-improvement, all the psychology books, all they talk about is toleration. They never let you feel the liberation of yourself. All you're trying to do is liberate you from you. And then the biggest one I never really got to with you is forgiveness. Take forgiveness out of your life and appreciate that event. Appreciate your courage, your audacity, because you experienced that, but you had the audacity to go through it. And the best thing you can do is stop blaming the out. Appreciation takes away the blame, shame, sham you play on yourself. What do I appreciate about that experience? And pretty soon you start understanding you feel it in here. And pretty soon that person just kind of goes away.
I really love that because it puts our personal power back with us and not on all these other people, places, things.
If you look at the outside world for anything, you're losing in life. But if you understand everything you're blaming on the outside world is a limitation inside you, a barrier or blockage, and you start communicating with that, pretty soon you understand that outside world is just a tour guide. It's showing me things I have to liberate myself from internally
So, why is today the best day of my life?
because it's the one you're experiencing. When you understand you're experiencing today, and this is something that I really awakened to, is the first three words out of your mouth in the morning should be something like I'm enough, I'm sovereign, I'm blessed, I'm alive, I'm awesome. Because people wake up, the first five words are complaining about yesterday. So that makes today yesterday. But if you wake up and say this is the best day of my life, then you can go down and write 5 or 6 things. If you start your morning with inspiration, you take away the day's desperation. But if you wake up complaining, you're draining all your energy into the pain of yesterday.
So, how does appreciation liberate us? And how is that better than forgiveness?
Takes the thinking memory mini movies out of it. When you appreciate yourself, that's the highest form of forgiveness because you're forgiving yourself. And then you realize that other person was just part of your life experience. They're there to help you rise. Chaos, adversity, challenges, adversity are awakenings. And that's the thing you want to remember. When you have chaos in your life, you're celebrating a new adventure in your life. Because chaos is just having a jailbreak from yesterday. But we've been taught to go into the chaos and then why is it? First thing is why is this occurring for me? Why am I apprehensive for it? Where's the wisdom? Where's my way to rise out of this? And you take away the chaos, opening and awakening for an adventure.
Well, on that note, we're going to pause here for a quick break. We've been speaking with Robert Wilson in regards to Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
There comes a moment when you realize you're somewhere special, when you discover that each beautiful creature that you see has been rescued from a life of absolute horror and brought to this incredibly free place. Here's where their lives were forever changed and where yours will as well. Discover over 500 tigers, bears, and lions at the brand new visitor center at the Wild Animal Sanctuary just outside Denver. For more information, visit wildanimalsanctuary.org. Discover true freedom at the Wild Animal Sanctuary.
It's one thing to become attached to your perfect home, but what do you do when that home becomes attached to you? A family in dire need of a fresh start, a mysterious house tied to the past. Buried deep within the foundation of the old Far Hill Manor lies a centuries-old secret. Dark forces or something stronger just waiting to be discovered. Caretaker, a supernatural thriller by breakout authors R.J. Halpert.
Internationally recognized and award-winning author Judy Goodman works and teaches outside the box of limited thinking. Working with people from every walk of life, her goal is to empower you to be the best you can be, no matter what the challenge is. Born with the gift of seeing beyond our normal vision, she has an extraordinary gift of working with every challenge. Teaching beyond conventional wisdom, her work is described as life-changing. Visit judygoodman.com. That's judygoodman.com.
I'd like to thank Jason Eastwood at Guitarfulness for sharing his inspiring music and talent with us. His music is known worldwide for cultivating atmospheres of harmony, inner peace, and clarity. Visit Jason's website at guitarfulness.com. Join his newsletter, be part of his community, and download his music. Welcome back to Moments with Marianne. We're here today with special guest Robert Wilson, who's sharing with us Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity. For folks that are in a place where they just feel really stuck by their circumstances, do you do personal work with folks?
Yeah. And the first thing, if you're stuck in your life, the first question is, where's my pathway out? And see, the thing is, people can get stuck because they're stuck in their thinking, memory, mind, their viewpoints, opinions, and their past. When you say, why is this occurring for me to rise? See how that just changes the energy? Then you want to just get one inspiration, something you want to experience. And you don't want to practice, you want to experience the outcome. And allow yourself to just open up. But there's one other thing. Go to a park or moving water and just are out in the middle of the country and just start expressing all your stuff to the universe. Don't qualify whatever comes into your landscape. Just express it to the world, or go to a park, sit down, and say, "Why am I stuck?" and just sit there and write it. Never do anything negative in your home. Always do it out in the park or in the country or around water. So there's movement. And then as you're sitting there writing down everything, you sit there for anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, hour and a half. You're going to be surprised what comes out at the end. And it's just the beginning, because we have never been showed a way to experience life. We've been taught how to experience life through education in somebody else's way. But when you show yourself the way to your pathway, you get to enjoy life. It's always being chauffeured or showed or something like that. But anyway, when you're writing that in the park, and when you're done, you do not take it any further. And as you start walking to a wastebasket, you start ripping it and tearing it up. When you walk by that wastebasket, you throw it in and you keep walking. You'll feel liberation. See, life actually tells you what it is. Life is liberating invitation, fostering emancipating and enterprising events and experiences to rise me to my desired lifestyle. And that's the thing, never life. It's always a lifestyle.
I understand you have classes that people can take as well to help them along their journey.
Yes, I got about, I don't know, 10 or 15 classes on my website. And the first one I really like is I liberate me from me. But the other one is I rose out of my perfection programming. 7 ways why I rose out of my perfection program. See, we're trying to be perfect in the world, Marianne. But here's the thing about the physical world, it's uneducated, unrehearsed, and unedited. It's going to just hit you with, and you're trying to put an educated world into an uneducated mystery. How does that work? And that's the thing. Education is a foundation. After that, it's your imagination, innovation, your intuition that'll rise you up out of it. And something people really need to understand, everybody has a sleek, unique talent. I don't know whether it's writing a book, singing a song, making a gadget, but they have something. You've never been showed your talents. You've been taught. And a lot of us, if you're like me, they told me you'd never amount to nothing and do all this. I thank them because that made my I guess my cowboy gumption a little bit more candid, and so I get to rise out of it. Everybody has a talent. Don't believe anything so socialized tells you. Always rise to your sovereign valor to rise, shine, and expand.
So I understand you've never had an argument.
That is an interesting one. Oh, I've had arguments, but I never argued with the person. I realized I was never arguing with the person, Marianne. I was arguing with my viewpoints, hard-headedness, stubbornness, viewpoints, opinions, beliefs, and my comfort zone. I had to stay in my comfort zone, so that automatically made that other person wrong. That when I discovered that, I says, wow, the simplest way to never have an argument is just listen, because there's going to be a nugget of wisdom in what that other person says for me to rise and shine. And now I discovered when somebody wants to, get all upset, all binded up about something, and they say a lot of things, thank you. That just throws them into a tizzy. Thank you. This isn't for me. I'll see you. Because arguing is a depletion of everything for everybody. But if you can really realize that person is stuck in their viewpoints and opinions, and you're stuck in yours, so it's a dead end situation. But I never really had an argument with a person. I had an argument with my limitations. And once I opened up to that, I said, wow. Something else I really opened up to is we've been living the definition of insanity. Keep doing what you always done, expecting different results. Well, here's the thing. We're using the same kind of knowledge and wisdom that got us into the situation we're in with the same type of people, and we're trying to look for somebody else to do it for us. That's why we never rise, because the world is living the definition of insanity. If you want a helping hand, look at them hands, look in the mirror, because you encompass the wisdom, insight, and clarity to rise out of everything in your life, to be chauffeured to your beaches of bountiful bliss.
Do you feel that's one of the main reasons why you're here is to help people recognize their own personal wisdom?
Yes. And that's very much what my whole deal is. I want to show people that you may never fit into the socialized boundaries, but you always will fit into the free-flowing energy of your enterprising wizardry. And it's allowing people to understand when you start rising out of your current perfection programming is basically what you're trying to live inside this and be perfect. When you decide you want to let go of that perfection programming and step out into the mysteries and riddles of your life, yeah, you're going to have some interesting things, but you're never going to be living that enslaved mindset we've been taught. You're going to live in a sovereign liberation of politically incorrect inspiration that will dissolve that perfection programming, and you'll rise to your own wisdom. See, that's the thing. The difference between knowledge and wisdom, and the world lives in knowledge. That's whatever comes in a book. Wisdom is from get your hands dirty and get your nose skinned for the events of your life. Wisdom comes from life events. And we're trying to live inside the computers. we're forgetting about the life events that'll expand us.
Isn't that the truth? You know, I think people just don't understand that there's another way, and that's why I have such great appreciation for your work. It really helps people get to a new way of life.
Well, it shows you a way that you encompass the gumption to do. I'm glad you just said that because stop being told what to do. Listen for what expands you and let the rest go. Stop telling people what to do, and you won't be sticking your nose in other people's business. Open up to listen for the wisdom insight that'll expand you. And the reason I use wisdom over knowledge, because knowledge has memories. Wisdom is a free flowing energy. And something else, take the word learn out of your life. Use the word comprehend. Say the word learn out loud, then say comprehend out loud and see what you feel. And see, this is about getting a feeling for your life, for the words. And see, I got a class called Liberating Lingo. It's a lingo I made myself. See, I don't use the words change, heal, create, transformation, forgiveness, think, know, learn, knowledge, or thoughts. It's inspiration, understand for know, comprehend for learn, wisdom for knowledge, revelations. And what them words do, there's no memory in it, and it opens up an internal curiosity about life. And that's the thing. Open up to the curiosity of your campaigner's gumption and go on a tour. Let the world be a safari rather than ho dum, we stay in yesterday. We live yesterday because we don't understand today is a trend-setting opportunity.
Ooh, mic drop on that one. You know, that's pretty impressive, and that's true. It's so true.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this. Start using, instead of change, heal, create, start using like flowing energy. I'm streaming wisdom today, sovereign. Just use liberating words, but don't use the words that we learn. If you rise out of the words you learned in school and start opening up to your own, this is the thing. Make your own liberating lingo. And also this is something that sounds a little out there, but make rhymes. I chime the rhyme on my prime time, trend-setting ingenuity, magically expanding through life because I encompass the grandeur of my genuine revelations, appreciating now. The thinking memory mind is curious, and you're flowing in energy. There's also a class on there about rhymes, but everything you did yesterday has to leave. And another thing for me, I did is I stopped setting goals. I don't set goals. I set accomplished outcome. What is the accomplished outcome I desire to experience? Don't practice anything. What is it that I want to experience? See, people practice, they never get out of practice. But if you want to experience and you have that outcome, and you can experience that and enjoy it. And the thing about an accomplished outcome, this is what a lot of people lack the understanding. You can put a smell in. I smell the roses of success. Smell is the strongest sense we have because it goes directly to the brain. Ears are like 4 layers, eyes are 7 layers, but smell goes directly. So I could smell my free flowing money filling my bank accounts today.
I'm sure there are a lot of people going, "Oh, I can smell that too."
But smell does. And you can smell liberation, you can smell sea breezes. But when you set a goal and you say smart, there's no energy in it. It's just kind of flow. And also, when you want to make something in your life, don't only make a vision board on a mirror, make a video with you in it, with everything you desire.
Now, why is that?
So you can watch yourself enjoy it.
Oh, I like that.
Self-help, personal growth, self-improvement kept me trying to heal the past. Well, as you're trying to heal the past, you stay in the memory of the past. But if you liberate the now and listen to life's invitations, you foster emancipating energy to flow through you. See, that's something. We're free-flowing energy, but we're never this, because whenever you look up Webster's dictionary on mind as a verb is you go looking for something or somebody to blame. And when you use it as a noun, you're living in something else, because we've been taught, like school teaches us from the past. we'll take a test over this. We never took anything for the now. The world has never been taught to experience the now. We've always been taught to look back. And when an expert talks, they talk about the past. They never talk about, because nobody understands what's in the now. Here's the thing. You get to design that any way you want to. Any way you desire, you can make, but it's not the future. It's now. Because you understand the now. The future, who knows? But if you start innovating and designing and coloring the now, the future will show itself.
That is just so impressive. I mean, Rob, we could talk for hours. I think your cowboy wisdom is so impactful. Where can our listeners connect with you and learn more about the great classes you have, your hypnoacuity, and just be part of your community?
MyCowboyWisdom.com is my website.
Well, Rob, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Marianne, this is my honor and privilege. And there's free downloads on my website, but it's about people understanding they encompass the gumption to rise to wherever they want to go.
Well, thank you, Robert. It has been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your work, Cowboy Wisdom Hypnoacuity. Again, if you'd like to reach out to Robert, you can at his website, mycowboywisdom.com. There you can learn about his classes and upcoming events. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You've been listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.